Stress is a term you're likely familiar with. We all experience stress in our lives. Because the vast majority of health problems are caused or influenced by stress, it's important to understand how stress affects your body and learn effective stress management techniques to make stress work for you rather than against you. So, what exactly is stress? Stress is your body's response to changes in your life. Because life involves constant change, ranging from everyday, routine changes like commuting from home to work to adapting to major life changes like marriage, divorce, or death of a loved one, there is no avoiding stress. So, what are the main causes of stress? Stress is normal and, to some extent, a necessary part of life. Despite it being something everyone experiences, what causes stress can differ from person to person. For instance, one person may become angry and overwhelmed by a serious traffic jam, while another might turn up their music and consider it a mild inconvenience. Feelings of stress are normally triggered by things happening in your life which involve financial problems, work, personal relationships, daily life and busyness, worrying about something, facing big changes, having responsibilities that you're finding overwhelming, and many more. Let's talk about some effects of stress. Just as stress is perceived differently by each of us, stress affects us all in ways that are unique to us. One person may experience headaches, while another may find stomach upset as a common reaction, and a third may experience any of a number of other symptoms. While we all react to stress in our own ways, there is a long list of commonly experienced effects of stress that range from mild to life-threatening. Stress can affect immunity, which can impact virtually all areas of health. Stress can affect mood in many ways as well. Creating a stress management plan is often one part of a plan for overall wellness. So let's talk about how we can manage stress. Effective stress management helps you break the hold stress has on your life, so you can be happier, healthier, and more productive. The ultimate goal is a balanced life, with time for work, relationships, relaxation, and fun, and the resilience to hold up under pressure and meet challenges head-on. But stress management is not one size fits all. That's why it's important to experiment and find out what works best for you. Some stress management tips can help you do that. And the first tip is to identify the sources of stress in your life. Stress management starts with identifying the sources of stress in your life. This isn't as straightforward as it sounds. While it's easy to identify major stressors such as changing jobs, moving, or going through a divorce, pinpointing the sources of chronic stress can be more complicated. It's all too easy to overlook how your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors contribute to your everyday stress levels. You may know that you're constantly worried about work deadlines, but maybe it's your procrastination, rather than the actual job demands, that is causing the stress. To identify your true sources of stress, look closely at your habits, attitude, and excuses. Until you accept responsibility for the role you play in creating or maintaining it, your stress level will remain outside your control. The second stress management tip is to practice the 4 A's of stress management. While stress is an automatic response from your nervous system, some stressors arise at predictable times. For example, your commute to work, a meeting with your boss, or family gatherings. When handling such predictable stressors, you can either change the situation or change your reaction. When deciding which option to choose in any given scenario, it's helpful to think of the 4 A's: avoid, alter, adapt, or accept. Believe it or not, you can simply avoid a lot of stress. The first way to avoid stress is simply to learn how to say no. Most people have a lot of responsibilities and very little spare time. Saying no to social invitations, extra responsibilities at work, or volunteer requests can be difficult, but it is often needed for personal mental health. Another way to avoid stress is to avoid people who stress you out. If someone consistently causes stress in your life, limit the amount of time you spend with that person, or end the relationship. Taking control of your environment is one more way to avoid stress. If the evening news makes you anxious, turn off the TV. If traffic makes you tense, take a longer but less traveled route. If going to the market is an unpleasant chore, do your grocery shopping online. Last but not the least, prioritizing your to-do list can help you avoid stress. Analyze your schedule, responsibilities, and daily tasks. If you've got too much on your plate, Drop tasks that aren't truly necessary to the bottom of the list or eliminate them entirely. When stressful situations cannot be avoided, behaviors, communication, and time management may need to be altered. You can do this by expressing your feelings instead of bottling them up. If something or someone is bothering you, be more assertive and communicate your concerns in an open and respectful way. When you ask someone to change their behavior, be willing to do the same. If you both are willing to bend at least a little, you'll have a good chance of finding a happy middle ground. You can also alter stressful situations by creating a balanced schedule. All work and no play is a recipe for burnout. Try to find a balance between work and family life, social activities and solitary pursuits, daily responsibilities and downtime. If you can't change the stressor, change yourself. You can adapt to stressful situations and regain your sense of control by changing your expectations and attitude. Try to view stressful situations from a more positive perspective. Rather than fuming about a traffic jam, look at it as an opportunity to pause and regroup, listen to your favorite radio station, or enjoy some alone time. Look at the big picture and figure out if is it really worth getting upset over? Figuring out if matters in 1 year or in 5 years is important. If it won't, letting it go can relieve stress. You can also adapt to stressful situations by adjusting standards. Striving for perfection can cause feelings of frustration and guilt. Adjusting personal expectations can reduce stress. When stress is getting you down, take a moment to reflect on all the things you appreciate in your life, including your own positive qualities and gifts. This simple strategy can help you keep things in perspective. Some sources of stress are unavoidable. You can't prevent or change stressors such as the death of a loved one, a serious illness, or a national recession. In such cases, the best way to cope with stress is to accept things as they are. Acceptance may be difficult, but in the long run, it's easier than railing against a situation you can't change. When facing major challenges, try to look at them as opportunities for personal growth. If your own poor choices contributed to a stressful situation, reflect on them and learn from your mistakes. Expressing what you're going through can be very cathartic, even if there's nothing you can do to alter the stressful situation. Talk to a trusted friend or make an appointment with a therapist. The third tip to manage stress is to get moving. When you're stressed, the last thing you probably feel like doing is getting up and exercising. But physical activity is a huge stress reliever, and you don't have to be an athlete or spend hours in a gym to experience the benefits. Even very small activities can add up over the course of a day. The first step is to get yourself up and moving. Fourth tip to manage stress is simply to connect to others. There is nothing more calming than spending quality time with another human being who makes you feel safe and understood. It's nature's natural stress reliever. So make it a point to connect regularly and in person with family and friends. So our fifth tip for stress management is to make time for fun and relaxation. Don't get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life that you forget to take care of your own needs. If you regularly make time for fun and relaxation, you'll be in a better place to handle life's stressors. You can include rest and relaxation in your daily schedule and make time for leisure activities that bring you joy. Relaxation techniques such as yoga, meditation, and deep breathing activate the body's relaxation response, which makes your mind and body calm and centered. Tip 6 is to manage your time better. Poor time management can cause a lot of stress. When you're stretched too thin and running behind, it's hard to stay calm and focused. Plus, you'll be tempted to avoid or cut back on all the healthy things you should be doing to keep stress in check, like socializing and getting enough sleep. The good news: there are things you can do to achieve a healthier work-life balance. You can avoid scheduling things back to back or trying to fit too much into one day. All too often, we underestimate how long things will take. You can also make a list of tasks you have to do, and tackle them in order of importance. Do the high-priority items first. If you have something particularly unpleasant or stressful to do, get it over with early. The rest of your day will be more pleasant as a result. If a large project seems overwhelming, make a step-by-step plan. Focus on one manageable step at a time, rather than taking on everything at once. You don't have to do it all yourself, whether at home, school, or on the job. If other people can take care of the task, why not let them? You'll be letting go of unnecessary stress in the process. The seventh tip to manage stress is to maintain balance with a healthy lifestyle. In addition to regular exercise, there are other healthy lifestyle choices that can increase your resistance to stress, such as eating a healthy diet, reducing caffeine and sugar, avoiding alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs, and getting enough sleep. The final tip to manage stress is learning to relieve stress in the moment. The fastest way to reduce stress is by taking a deep breath and using your senses, what you see, hear, taste, and touch, or through a soothing movement. For example, by viewing a favorite photo, smelling a specific scent, listening to a favorite piece of music, tasting a piece of gum, or hugging a pet, you can quickly relax and focus yourself. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click on the bell to receive notifications of new interesting videos that are waiting for you ahead.